All right. Now recording. This is What's Up Dave for Wednesday, May 3rd. It's 11:18 a.m. here in New Hampshire. Let me confirm that audio is streaming. Should be on live in a second now. It's nice and sunny today. That's nice. Yep, we have audio. That looks good. Let's drop the volume down a bit. Oh, it's okay. So, what do we got today? Let me take a look, go to the chat room where I can see what actually I have. So, also, let me turn this down. This is a little bit too loud. Shit. So, anyway, what am I doing today? In the chat room, I have written my notes. Anyway, this What's Up Dave is my daily catch up with my friends stream. And I just go over stuff that I am doing, stuff that I have, things that I saw yesterday. This is also an extension of the virtual CoWorking. This channel is an extension of the virtual CoWorking chat, where I hang out with other people who work from home, doing whatever they have to do. So let's just get with it. So what do we got? So show and tell. What's going on? I start with the show and tell because when I start playing the day, that's the boring part when you can tune out, but it's fun to share the fun stuff. So, as some of you know, I really dislike this microphone. This microphone's connected to the PC right now. And what I did is, well, one reason I dislike this microphone is because it's so ridiculously heavy. And it used to be on the desk. There used to be a right here, but the design of the mount was such that it would pick up all the vibrations from typing, so it was like useless for any kind of video conferencing, especially with this really clicky mechanical keyboard. So I have this Rode PSA-1 arm, which I've complained about in the past, and my big beef with it. Otherwise, it's a beautiful arm otherwise, but my big beef with it is this mechanism here, which is mechanically stupid. I tried to put a rubber washer on it to try to give it more friction so it would hold in place, but that didn't work. So what I ended up doing to fix it was use this zip tie to give it some mechanical advantage that apparently wasn't designed into it to begin with. I'm not sure if mine is defective or this is just an example of style over function. And I also am using this somewhat ridiculous Radius 2 shock mount. This is to isolate the microphone from more vibrations. This is also from Blue, the maker of this microphone. This microphone otherwise sounds great. There's nothing, I have no issue with the microphone itself. It's just the utility of the design of its original stand and the overbuilt quality of this expensive thing. This is the first time I've ever been able to use it because it's so heavy that it would not work with this arm. It also is kind of ridiculously large. Now that I have it working, I actually kind of like it. But it was just this zip tie that I needed to do just to keep this thing from sagging all the time. So that's the major accomplishment of the morning. Let me put this back. What else is in show and tell? Oh yes, this giant caplico. As you can see, it says giant caplico on it. I ate a chocolate one before. This has 180 calories. Its ingredients are sugar, lactose, cocoa butter, corn powder, yeast extract, vegetable oil, palm and sunflower oil, and then whole milk powder. It's basically a puffy cookie that's shaped like an ice cream cone. So I think we need to eat this, or at least take a bite out of it. I don't think I want to eat the whole thing. Let me go to Oxcam 1.2, bring this camera over so we can eat it in multiple dimensions. So I'm on this camera here, angles down, and I guess I lean forward and angle this down. So here we have our multiple angles of the caplico. Got this at the Lana Asian Market, which is our local Asian market that I go to all the time. It's a great place. So you can see it looks like an ice cream cone. It's kind of weird, huh? It's unfortunately cracked. Oh, there's chocolate, some sort of chocolate foam in the bottom. It tastes like it's a dry. It's dry. It's like a. It's like astronaut ice cream, that dehydrated stuff. It actually tastes like a. The texture is like a puffed frosting, but it's creamier. It tastes like strawberries. What's this flavor like? The texture is. It reminds me of something I've had before. Hmm. I'm not sure how to describe it. I will eat the rest of it later. Maybe it'll come to me. All right. What else is next on the show and tell? Oh, yes. Another shoebox. So, yesterday I had a good time looking at or sharing the contents of the shoebox full of tarot cards. And I actually have, my basement is filled with shoeboxes full of stuff in them. And it's part of like this desire to have something like a store or just like a museum of stuff that I like. So I've got like maybe 3 dozen shoeboxes filled with categorized stuff. Not all of the categories are good. And one of the chores I have for myself this summer, or the spring and summer, is to reorganize the basement so I can see what's down there. But I think I need to consolidate some of these boxes, so reviewing the contents of them might be a good idea, while also being kind of fun. Here is an old pencil box that I don't remember when I got this. There's some 0.5 lead in it. Which side? Maybe here. 0.5 HB lead for when I used to use mechanical pencils. Maybe I should put these things in here. This can go in there. This is a Lucky Cat that my sister gave me one year. Actually, I'm very fond of this Lucky Cat. I should put this up somewhere. I'll put next to the oblique strategies. So now it's over here. This is a Christmas gift that my sister gave me. So when I had a scooter, I got a whole bunch of scooter themed stuff one year. It's like a luggage tag. I'm not sure why it's in the desk accessories 2 box. Maybe that needs to move. It's a little tin box full of, I think, it's full of change probably. Oh no, it actually has bullets in it. It's a box labeled bullets, although it has a picture of a shotgun shell on it. It's something that's so much just to find ammunition that inspires confidence. I probably should move that ammunition back someplace else. These are mostly empty shell casings. Now there is some practice ammo in here. Let's see. Well, this is actually place of the camera. That's the luggage tag. What is this? Oh, this is my Lavender index card suitcase or brief. I forgot I had this. It's nice. I don't know why I don't use it. These are my old business cards. This is the old dot story. This is the one before I had put something on the back too. So why these aren't exactly desk? Well, I guess these are things that can go on my desk and look cool. So that makes sense. I didn't actually realize I had one of these. And here's an Incubot. This is a USB drive that my friend Alan made, designing his own character. So this is pretty cool. And this is a what? This is a laser pen? It's a laser pointer / pen. I don't even know what this is. Here, oh, this is a from Girl Genius. This is a. Let me get it closer to that. This is just I think a giveaway, or this was a perk from a Kickstarter when they were backing something. And I was collecting lots of badges and stuff. Old pair of glasses. The style of this was worth keeping around. Various pens. What is this? Oh, this is my... Is this what I think it is? No, this is this is my original CW plus T high-tech C pen holder. This was kickstarted for $50 back in the day, I believe. The pen type A. And I think now they're for $150, so that was a pretty good deal. Yeah, so there's pens and stuff in here, so I guess all the pen accessories kind of belong in here. I'm not sure the Levenger thing should be there. There's some Noodler's ink. This actually needs to be in the fountain pen section. Oh, here's my, I was wondering where this went. This is a nice ball pen. I need to get a refill for that. This is a Lamy ballpoint pen, the clear version. This is like a little pen. I was hoping that I would find an Inca pen in here. This is a notebook my friend Kate made for me. It has a bunch of keyboard keys on it. It's totally me. I'm not sure what this is. This is my old wallet, I think, which I was using it. Here's another version of my business card, in here. So that's the old Explore, Learn, Build here. When I was doing more consulty type stuff for learning or information design. So that's what's in there. I'm gonna put this box in there. This Noodler's ink I'm gonna have to put someplace else. That should be in the fountain pen box, which I'm pretty sure I have one. So that's what's in here. I don't think I missed anything. There's a bookmark. Oh, there's another. This is the Voltron. This is another USB, drive. This is pretty cool. I think you can still buy these on the Toybox DX site. So I have reviewed the Desk Accessories 2 box. And am newly inspired to continue to clean the basement. All right, so next on the list is links from yesterday. So in the virtual co-working chat, we have a link dump room, where we're supposed to put all our distracting links. So let me go to this view. So I thought I would look at some of them. This is the virtual co-working page. This is where all the information about the virtual co-working chat room is at davidsay.com/virtual-co-working. But Kuzinatra mentioned this pen, the Faber-Castell Lume Metallic Blue Fountain Pen. He said it was a cool pen. I had actually picked up the the Pilot Metropolitan Pen. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. This pen. Because someone mentioned they really liked it. I think it was Bill Cracky, and I think Kuzinatra also liked it too. And actually, I really like this pen a lot. Like, I didn't think I would like it just by looking at the pictures of it, but once it's in the hand, I mean, it really grows. It really grew on me. I thought I wanted something a little bit more overtly styled, but this is just a beautiful pen. Although it looks just like every other pen, it just feels good in the hand. I should put it back in this case. So that's something that's on my list. It's $40 though. I don't know, maybe wait on that. And then we were, someone was mentioning, I think it was, who said this? Let me see, back in Link Dump, who wrote about that? This is, who posted this? Did I post this? Wait, this is Texas School, yeah, I posted this. I read this about, I had read some articles someplace that linked to this about how tripling the amount of recess time, like, solves attention deficit disorder. And I was going, what? And this was kind of on my mind anyway, because I was thinking, like, why don't I play more? And because I think I have all this work to do, so I don't let myself play as much. And so what happens instead is I just goof off all the time, which is like kind of like illegal play or unauthorized, unsanctioned like play. That's what goofing off is. But the idea that having scheduling more play in that actually like solve some behavioral problems. That kind of strikes close to home. I'll post this link in the YouTube channel. And then another link was I had come across this idea of hidden champions. This is interesting to me because it's about the economy, it's about jobs, and it's about, but not in the political, it's not the abstract political thing that I'm interested in. I'm interested in how people actually get good at what they're doing and how a small company can be a world leader. And so this German economist, Hermann Simon, wrote this book called something about this term he coined hidden champions, which apparently in Germany there's still like a very strong middle class that's based on manufacturing. And a lot of this manufacturing wealth comes from relatively small companies. I think it's called the Mittelstand. I don't know what that is. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'm imagining Colonel Klink from Hogan's Heroes saying it, but it's not coming to me. So anyway, these are companies. A hidden champion is a company that has is the number one leader in its field. For example, and the field can be very, very, very narrow. For example, the number one manufacturer of springs that you put in fountain and ballpoint pens. That would be a legitimate area. Or someone who makes a certain kind of pin that fits in a brake assembly. Someone who's specialized to the point that they've become the very, very best at it, and they've remained fairly small. Like here they're saying under 3 billion euros, but the very idea of being being small at the top of your field, I found very appealing. And knowing that kind of singular focus actually has, well, I don't know what it means. I don't know how it is relevant to me. Excellence in any form is appealing to me. So I don't know. This is just the idea of hidden champions is a new term that's on my radar. And then finally, this is a link I haven't looked at. Roberto posted this: hobby versus indie game dev and the war of art. The war of art, if you're familiar with productivity literature, or literature might be too much of a word. If you're familiar with, is it Stevens who wrote this? The war of art is the struggle to create. It's a play on the art of war, which Sun Tzu's book on military strategy. But the idea that you're fighting this war to be productive and you fight the resistance is a big part of it. So I'm curious what this article is about. I haven't read it. It looks like they have a link to Extra Credits, which is a popular series on game development commentary. That's the basic premise of this. So I'm reading this. Design is a hobby. I work as an indie. So this looks like a working. Stephen Pressfield. That's who wrote The War of Art. That's worth reading. He worked for novelists, but universal truths are applicable to everything in game dev. So I think this is an article about how you approach something. I know Roberto has been interested in developing games, and we actually bought them on Udemy. They had a 90% off their Unity course. And so it ended up being $10, so we both bought it. I think he's actually started looking at it. So this is kind of related to that. I'll post this also in the links here. Did I post the other one? The other one was the Hidden Champions one. Let's see, that would be this link. This is not the link I looked at, but it seemed like a good jumping off point with a lot of key terms for that. So that concludes show and tell. 19 minutes in. So now I think the next thing I said I would do on the list is, now we gotta work. Look at the articles. All right, so now it's time to shift to work stuff. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at yesterday's Emergent Task Planner, which is this. And what do we got going? Let's take a look. How well did we do? Hope people can read that. If not, I would say yesterday was a fairly productive day. There was an hour of 2 hours of fogginess. What did they do here? 2:30 to. Oh, this was no. That was this. We had the conference call. This was with Remap. What was he doing here? I did something. Oh, this was the first iStep stuff. This tendency to make this fringe effect over here, that's what I usually do to mark off work areas. So this is iStep number 1, and this is iStep number 2, which is up here. 1, 2. I had 2 dinners yesterday too. I had the quick dinner before the conference call, so I wouldn't pass out. And then I had a second dinner when I ate the rest of the stuff afterwards. So, but I did get some stuff done. I didn't get to dump boxes. I should do that today. I did read the JSON stuff. Did not go to the gym. Did do What's Up, Dave. And so, this is scheduled Duncan. These are the remaining things. I have this almost ready to go. I actually found a box for it. I did work on the video resource list, which would be actually kind of fun to share. So Roger in the chat room was curious about my setup. Docs, DS, CoWork. So we have our public document archive, and I've been keeping some notes in here. So he was curious, like what gear I use. He was thinking about doing some video stuff as well. So I started writing down a list of stuff that I use to maybe expand into an article for the website or something. But this is the part I worked on yesterday. Just listing all the gear I use and why I use it. So I should put prices next to these things because these are actually all fairly expensive options. They were the most affordable. I would say, yes, you could say prosumer stuff. Like one of these webcams were like maybe $90 a piece. These Thunderbolt docks are $200 a piece. You really only need one. These repeater cables are relatively cheap, around $30 or so. The mixer was $150, I think, or the Shure wireless microphone system and microphone, that's $400 for those two. These mic stands, this is about $100 worth of mic stand. So it gets up there, and that's not including the software is free, so that's not really as much of an issue, I think. But yesterday was a pretty good day. Server migration, this is really monitoring at this point. Didn't read pair, didn't get anything back from M. I need to send a follow-up. I'm wondering if this has dropped off the radar. I need to doctor stuff. So before I get to that, what I want to do though is actually redesign the daily redesign of the emergent task planner form. This is this form. I've been redesigning it to make it a little bit more usable. Yesterday I started working on the day grid hour markers, trying to make them look cooler. So I've been printing out a new one every day and just kind of working with it to see if I like it. The widths seem about right for me now, so I think I'm pretty settled on that. But it's just like stylistically, I don't like the way the left sidebar looks. Let's see. Let's open Illustrator. This is Master B I'm looking at. And so Master B, I should probably make something here. This is what file name is. This is the 8511B. ETP 8511B is revised day grid. ETP 8511A is revised column widths. So just making a note here. I should probably put this in the other document too. So let's load that just so we're consistent. So this stuff here. All right, so I'd like to try to keep notes to myself in my working docs so I remember a week from now, or really a day from now, because I'll forget what I did. Give myself some clues here. All right, this is what it looks like now. So if I'm looking at the current design, how do I feel about it? It looks kind of simple, and it's not clear to me what you would use it for. The element is there just to block out time. And so, let's shrink this down a bit. So the idea is, this is an hour. So you number this like this. If you start at 9 in the morning, you write 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, so forth. Here, and this is to give you a sense of like, this is how long an hour takes. So you get a big stream of time that goes down there. Pretty typical. In the past, this used to be 4 columns that went across, and each of them were marked 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and 2 hours and 4 hours. The idea of the day grid before was to visually represent time blocking. So I would bin tasks according to their size, and I would say an A block is 4 hours, a B block is 2 hours, a C block is 1 hour. Something like that. Actually, I think an A block might have been 2 hours. But the idea was that I could then assign a rating to a particular task. So if I thought something might take 4 hours, I would say this is a category A task. I eventually dropped it because it just ended up being just doing the hour. It turned out that 15 minutes was the working unit for me, because my big block is getting started. For something that's big and unknown, or even just a little bit unknown. If I'm annoyed, I don't want to start it. And I'm very easily annoyed by things. So 15-minute commitment to do something that I don't know how to do or don't want to do, that seemed like the minimum acceptable time unit. Anyway, I digress. So these hour markings, they kind of work as markers. These orange ones are to divide the day up into sections. So if you think about it, this is like morning, this is a break for lunch, this is afternoon, this is a break for dinner, and then this is the evening. So people's schedules don't necessarily line up that way, but it's also a visual way of distinguishing where in the day you are. So like I said, is it the top section, the bottom section, and the middle section? This is really a wayfinding approach that I've baked into the design. I don't think most people realize that. I'm not sure. Yeah. Courtney in the chat room says she never even noticed the big multi-hour blocks. Yeah. Yeah, so eventually the blocks have given way toward a more simple representation. Now, just looking at this, I'm wondering what I can do. So what do I want to do with this? Yeah, maybe it's fine. I don't know what to change on it. The weight could be maybe a little bit lighter. Let's see. What is this? It's 0.75. These lines are 0.7. No, these lines are 1. Let's make this point. Can I select this style? Same appearance. All right, good. So the stroke is 0.75. What if we make it 0.5? Stroke. So that's 0.5. These didn't get caught because they have a different appearance. Select same appearance. And let's make these 0.5 as well. All right, so it's just a little bit lighter. Just before I do anything with that, let me just play around with this. Let's go to layers. Those are the quarter-hour markers. You know, maybe, actually this gives me an idea. Maybe you can just put these inside. Yeah, let me make another layer here. Quarter hours too. So I'm just thinking that at first I thought I was going maybe I could put something inside here. Oops, that's odd. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna center that in there. Maybe not like that. Let's expand it. Let's give it a 0.5 weight. Let's also make it blue. I mean, that starts to complicate the design though, but let's see what it looks like if I have 4 of these in here. That's roughly in place. I think one issue is that these don't line up cleanly then. I can resolve that later. Just kind of want to get a sense of what this might look like. Let's distribute these. So that looks ridiculous. Well, let's try what happens if I drop the weight of it. It still looks very heavy to me. Yeah, I don't like it. They kind of look like checkboxes too. But maybe I could put them here and make them smaller. I can't. We could do something like this. I think people would ask what these boxes are for. It does add a little additional detail, but it also doesn't look quite right. I think maybe another option would be maybe putting these behind. So let's say, I can lock all these other layers. So let's say we put it right here. We just position these first. Let's make this one a little bit darker. These are tints. Copying these. Let's move this down here. Oops. Didn't copy. That down there. And now let's move this all the way to the back of everything else. So now we have something that looks like that. I don't like it. But that's no reason not to try it. It looks Roger's in the chat room. I'm muting my headphones though. I'll unmute them somehow. How do I do it? Here? Hey Roger.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Giving me errors on my microphone.
Oh dear.
It's confused because I can hear you just fine, Roger.
Okay, good. Hope it's going well for everyone today.
Pretty good. Oops.
I'm nearly at the end of my day, so I'm just getting a bit more motivation to get my last tasks done.
Nice.
Yeah, and David just started his What's Up, Dave?
Okay.
So I'm working on some ETP stuff.
Oh, and Dave can hear me talking.
Yeah. Am I feeding back into the channel?
The delay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Usually I can route the audio into into the live stream, but I don't have that set up right now. But you might be picking up some bleed. Why is this not selecting? So, okay. I am... that's going to be a problem.
Yep.
So I'm going to print this out and see how this looks. I don't think I like it, but just because I don't like it means that I shouldn't try it. And in the process of not liking it, I may find a better solution. Disliking things is a good design direction. So I'm printing this out. I am going to run downstairs when it's done. Hopefully I'm not out of toner. And then... is my microphone on? Oh. I thought I was talking to Roger all this time, and I realized that I had my mic turned off. Hey Roger, I am live streaming right now, so I have this everything muted here in the channel. All right, so that should have printed out, so I'm going to go downstairs and grab that. Hey kitty. I scared the cat with my uncharacteristic burst of energy. Let's see. All right. So, the interesting thing, why does this keep changing? I have two of these. One of these should be webcam plus.
Are you listening to the live stream, which I can't hear?
Yeah, no, you just scared of the kitty cat.
Oh, these are the same. So, all right. So I want this. Okay. So here's the printout, and surprisingly, I actually don't mind it when it's printed. So I'm glad that I printed it instead of rejecting it. So those little dots, which looked gigantic when the screen was designing them and didn't look so great on the PDF, when they're printed out, they actually seem kind of cool and mysterious. So I kind of like them now. Yeah. So let's see how this is kind of a nice design detail. I'm not sure if it's really clear. Yeah, so one issue is like just how do you line up these? I think I would actually have to put the mark on this side too, just so you can kind of make the visual connection. And then I think this needs a change as well. This line probably needs to be blue. So anyway, but this is the ETP form today, so let's fill this thing out and then get started. It's already been 38 minutes of doing this, so today is Wednesday, May 3. Tomorrow's May 4th, Star Wars Day. There's an AV place nearby that has having some sort of Star Wars Day AV event. So I'm curious what they're doing. So let me put What's Up Dave here at the bottom. Prep and record. These are actually starting to take a long time, but I enjoy doing them. What time is it now? It's 11:57. Let's say this is 12, this is 11, 10. 1, 2. I smell something sweet. Is it my giant caplico? What does this taste like? Oh yeah, it tastes like it's white chocolate. That's what it tastes like. It just tastes like white chocolate that's been strawberry flavored. So it doesn't taste like frosting. It doesn't taste like that terrible kind of I don't even know what to call it. It's creamy, and it's not too bad. It's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So before I fill in these tasks from here, I'm going to copy these to-dos I had. Because that is the minimum work I am doing on them, copying them every day. Schedule, it's kind of a meditation, I suppose. Schedule Duncan. I'm not sure when I can do this. I'm thinking of actually scheduling a haircut at the same time. Since I'm growing my hair out, I usually had shaved it really close, but I just kind of want to see what it looks like. If maybe I can live with this male pattern baldness. Worked for Jean-Luc Picard. Return to GoPro. Actually, that is a task I can put. I'll put in the secondary here. This is just dropping it off at FedEx. Return GoPro. Also, I need to pick up my prescription for blood sugar stuff. This should be then the nest rebate. The next one, let's see, video resource list. That's something that's kind of an ongoing project. And then I should put Jess's travel app. Maybe it belongs in its own category. These are collaborations, or these are things for other people, I suppose. As part of one of my objectives for the year, which is to give more of my time in little chunks to other people's projects. Beverly, she has her game grid that I'm going to look at. And then there is M's meeting notes. I haven't had a confirmation that this is like a collaborative project or not, so I am not starting it until I get that confirmation. Read one paper. So for the research software we're developing, of course the research produces research papers, and I haven't read the PhD student work, and I would like to see how they have reacted and incorporated it in their research. And then there's the PCP hunt, primary care physician, finding a new one, server migration. Actually, I guess I need to make some progress on that, but that's not this week, that's next week. You also want to keep it top of mind. I think today, find postcards. That's for another project. And I think that's everything that's here. Oh, and then also I want to remember not to forget about TypeCon, which is a typographic convention that is apparently going to be in Boston this year. So maybe I should go to it. It's I think it's $400, a relatively cheap junket. I could drive down there, or I could get a hotel, and it could be just like a fun world to immerse in. I like typography. I might learn something cool. And so, all right. So now that I have these tasks down, let me also look at my OKRs, the goals for the month. That was the paper I was looking at yesterday. So, remove empty boxes from basement. So today is a take out the trash, take out recycling. If I do that, that'd be amazing. I should see what Sid is up to. We can have lunch tomorrow. Or maybe even today. I'm trying to have lunch every week. I have a cool side business. These are sleeping tasks. I'm not doing these this week. Trying to focus this week on fewer things. This React.js framework, that would be a nice thing. But we are going to, the work things will be iStep, iStep architectural description. That'll be part 1. And then I guess, let's just call this number 1 and number 2. There'll be 2 2-hour sessions on this. Taking out the recycling is going to probably take 30 minutes. So yeah, maybe I can see if Sid's available for lunch today, although he's probably already eating lunch. And then I can run these errands and then do the architecture work. So, okay, what time is it now? It's 45 minutes and it is 12 o'clock. So I am going to call this What's Up Dave to a close. My day is relatively planned. I have tasted a giant caplico, and it is good. Oh, there's a chocolate center to it. It looks like chocolate. Hopefully it's chocolate, not something like red bean or something gross like that. But that's What's Up Dave for today, Wednesday, May 3. Signing off. Hope you're having a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.